Make a Chaos Angel every turn. Every turn. Let's get it cracking. Yes, sir. Have I got a special deck list for you guys today. I am so pumped. This is the 2023 Chaos Angel Chaos deck list. You got Lightsworns. Alright. You got Tearlaments. Alright. You got Ishizu. Alright. Bystial. This deck goes off. It is the most perfect deck build. I will show you guys why as we explain it. So, basically, my thought process was Chaos Angel just needs 2 monsters, a light and a dark. I was already playing Lightsworns, trying to work out how I'm going to play tiers in 2023 after that massacre of a ban list. And I realized you can't fusion. That's not the main point of tiers anymore. Yeah, they fuse when they get milled, but they all mill. They're a whole, basically, dark Lightsworns. So I figured try and incorporate those two together to have maximized mill capability, and then Bystials, it's level 6 dark. If I'm playing only level 4 lights, level 4 light, level 6 dark, boom, instant Chaos Angel. This deck build spams level 4s and level 6 monsters like nobody's business, and I'm going to show you guys why. And I said the tiers don't fuse. The tiers fuse in this deck exactly how they're supposed to. And let's get into it. So we're going to start off. We have 3 Raiden. This is your normal summon of the deck. You don't even normal summon half the time. That's how much fire. You have no room. You get so many monsters on the board, and you've already went through so many effects, and you got everything you need. So this deck plays Danko Seika perfectly. Perfectly. I'm not maining it. It is in the side deck. This is a going second build, but just because you're not going to be playing a bunch of back row decks competitively right off the bat right now in this format, it's a side deck option. But you can main deck that in the future, and you can also add in more Lightsworns such as Lila, but I'm keeping this a pure rank 4, level 4 and 6 build because we want to get to Chaos Angel. The whole point of this build is Chaos Angel. So you got your level 4 normal summon, tuner that mills 2 upon summon, and then at the end of every turn, mills 2. Once per turn, you can mill 4 times with this guy. So, perfect for this deck. The card you want to mill the most, Felice. This is your other tuner of the deck. When Felice is milled by a monster effect, or sent to the graveyard by a monster effect from the deck, it is special summoned. So whereas Wolf will special summon itself even if a spell card, like the grass is greener, mills it, it will special summon itself. Felice will not. But Felice has the additional effect of being able to target one of your opponent's monsters, destroy it, and this card. So you destroy itself and your opponent's monster, and then you mill an additional 3 cards. So it's an extender, it's monster removal, and it's a level 4 light tuner, which is beautiful for a Chaos build. So there you go. 3, 6, 9. 9 lights right off the bat, and you get all 3 of them out every turn, basically. Alright, so that's it for your Lightsworn monsters. You have 3 tier element monsters. We are not playing Rhinoheart. Okay, Rhinoheart's a level 4. He has good effects, but not effects that we need in this build. He doesn't mill more, and he's not a light or a dark. He's just useless to us. So that's why we're playing these 3. Sharon, God mode in this deck. Sharon, you can send any of your unwanted Wolves or Felice that you end up drawing, because yeah, we all know that they're bricks, but with this build, they're not bricks, because you need stuff to discard. And they're the perfect choice. What else are you going to discard? You're not going to discard Terraforming or anything. You'll discard your unwanted Felice or your unwanted Wolf. Very easy. Tier Element Sharon, you can discard a monster, mill 3, special summon it herself. If she mills a Felice, she's a free Chaos Archfiend. A free Chaos Archfiend. Free. You have Bystials in this deck, you banish every turn. Your Chaos Archfiend is only going to be 4,500 attack at all times. I'm not even lying. Not even lying. Alright, next up, that's it for your tier element monsters. You have a hand trap already built in to start things rolling, to interrupt your opponent going first. That's why we don't play evenly matched, because we're trying to get monsters on our board during our opponent's first turn. And we're trying to play turn 0, just like regular tier elements. To help us do that, we do play the YuGiOh and the Kelbeck for extra milling. Beautiful Foolish Burial targets. Also, the hand trap aspect of Kelbeck helps this deck even more. With the Bystials, Havness, and Kelbeck, those are already built-in hand traps to disrupt your opponent, which means you don't have to tack in too many more. Also, hand traps in this format do not stop everything. It's best to go with board wipes at the moment. We also play the 2 Shufflers, Medora and Keldo. Because why not? Why not? Next up, we have the Bystial package. We have the 3 Magnemite, the best one. We have the 3 Druid's Worm, the second best one. And then we have Bystial Sornier, the third best one. And yet, they're all amazing. 7 level 6s that you'll get at least 1 out a turn. Beautiful. Also, extra disruption for your opponent. DD Crows, we all know that. Next up, we have 1 single Destrudo. Destrudo is what really helps us get to our Psychic End Punisher. 1, it cuts the life points in half, so it already gives us Psychic End Punisher's effect. And then, in battle, they're not going to be able to swing over it, because it's already going to gain an extra 4,000 attack. Okay? And then this becomes a level 3 by targeting any level 4s. So 2 level 4s and Destrudo, that's how you get it. Destrudo also shuffles itself back into the deck like a tier element. The Spice. We main deck 2 Chaos Hunter. You're going to say why? You're going to say why? Think about this. Number 1 deck in the format, Kashtira, they banish. Number 2 deck, Runic, they banish. What else is good? Floowandereeze, they banish. Every deck in the meta right now, in at least some way or another, have effects in their deck that banish cards. Exo Sisters. I'm pretty sure even Mathmech. So, if you can stop that, you're stopping half the decks before they even know what they're facing. It's a level 7 dark monster, and it acts as another hand trap. 26 monsters, pretty hefty. That's why we don't play too many other hand traps like Asher or anything in the main build. Those are in the side. Next up, we got these spells. So we play 3 charge of the Light Brigade. Gross that I had that common on front. I was trying to hide that so you guys didn't know. Yeah, I have a common. And a gold. Super gross. But yeah, this card mills 3. If you guys don't know, it mills 3 and searches a level 4 or lower Lightsworn. So you literally mill 3 and you add your Raiden to your hand to go off. Next up, we got the Solar Recharge. Now this is the best card. You can always rely on drawing a wolf or a Felice. So this card discards 1 Lightsworn monster, draw 2, then send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So this helps you recycle your hand and puts 2 cards in the graveyard, and you're discarding a Lightsworn, which means by default you're putting a light card in the graveyard, a light monster, so that your Bystial is live in your hand. It's beautiful. This engine belongs together. Bystials and Lightsworns belong together. Next up, we have 3 Primeval Planet Perlerino. This is basically just a Rhoda, and then all its additional effects are also good, but this is just to get 2 Artears in our hand, and I don't have 3 of them. I only have 1. So just imagine, boop, I put 2 more right there. So you got 3 of your field spells and 1 terraforming. Next up, we have another tech card. We got your Foolish Burial. Half the time, if I need a level 4, I'll send a wolf. Or if I just need to get the ball rolling and I want to kind of test my opponent out, I don't know what they're playing yet, and I'm forced to go first or something. I lost the dice roll, they went second. I'll just send in a YuGiOh, mill 5 cards of their deck, see what they're playing, and get the ball rolling. Next up, we got an instant fusion. We are playing Mud Dragon. We play Mud Dragon, Garura, and Dragon Stapelia. So if we can get the Mud Dragon onto the field with an instant fusion, puts our life points 1,000 lower. So boom, Psychic End Punisher. It's a win for you. It gets a level 4 monster on the field that can change itself from light or dark, whatever we need to make our Chaos Archfiend or our Chaos Angel. It's a level 4. You can make a rank 4. You can make a Baguska, a Dweller, a Time Thief Redoer. And if you mill a Tearlaments, and that's your only monster on the board, you can still make a Dragon Stapelia, shuffle it back into your deck, and have a pretty good monster on the board. Alright, we'd play 3 Dark Ruler No Mores, because we're going second. We have hand traps as interruption. The only thing is if they put too much up and we just can't get over it, or there's just a problem that prevents us from even just getting the ball rolling, this will just shut it all down. We're going to put up 3 to 4 monsters with over 4,000 attack. They're not going to be able to come back against it, so I don't mind missing a battle phase to ensure that I wipe my opponent's board going second. And to ensure that we do that, we have to play the 4th and final board wipe, Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster, no need to say anything about it. This is my heart of the cards. Whenever I need it, and I have no cards in hand, and I'm top decking, and this is the only thing that can save me, I usually actually end up drawing it. So, the one of, sackiest one of, always stays in the deck. And the only trap, Tearlaments, Suliak. You don't want to play 3 of them. You only have 3 tier in your deck, so you don't want it to be a dead card. So it's just really nice to see. Every time this hits the graveyard, you're like, oh, sweet. You kind of forget that you even have it in the deck, and it's not win more, but you don't need it to win. Let's just say that. So that's the deck. That's 43 cards. 43 cards, super consistent, not cloggy. Everything works very, very well together. I didn't want to include Judgment Dragon. You can, because you make a Minerva first turn with this, and you get one of each of these 3 in the graveyard. So there's your 4. So Judgment's live every turn. But the only thing is, if you mill it, then you have to start playing Siegfurt or whatever, Starliege Siegfurt, whatever it is. And then you'll also be tempted, if you're playing that, then you might as well play Chaos Dragon Levy in here. And then if you're playing those type of cards, why not play BLS? And then it just keeps getting out of control. You can always add cards to make your ceiling higher, but when your ceiling is already the best boss monsters in the game, then you don't really have to worry about it. You can also choose to put this in your side deck and swap this out with Ghost Ogres. That is my initial choice, because if your opponent's not playing lights and you're going second, and you can get your Ghost Ogre off to pop, I don't know, their field spell or whatever, you can at least use your Bystial Magnamute or your Druisworm to banish your own Ghost Ogre, so that you can get a presence on board to at least make them sweat a little bit. And then if it's a Magnemite, you're going to add yourself another Bystial the next turn. So that's why I would do that. Next up, we are going into the extra deck. So the extra deck, I still need, obviously, Chaos Angel. Boom, we'll put that on the screen. Chaos Angel and Chaos Archfiend. I need those 2. And a Psychic End Punisher. Those are the only 3 cards, other than the 2 planet that I need for this deck to be complete. And then I'm going to be trying to bring this to locals, because I think I could win a locals with this deck pretty easily, especially going second, especially if I get this the first week and nobody's really playing Chaos Angel and they're not thinking about it. I think I could definitely scoop a locals super easily. So we need those 3 cards. Next up, we will show you the last synchro. We play a Psy-Frame Lord Omega. So Omega, you're able to, during the main phase, you can banish both this face-up card from the field and 1 random card from your opponent's hand face up until your next standby phase. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target 1 banished card, return it to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 other card in your graveyard, shuffle both that card and this card from the graveyard into the deck. It's limited for a reason, alright? So you got your Omega, your Psychic End Punisher, your Chaos Archfiend, and your Chaos Angel. Those are your 4 synchros. Now you got 1 dark. We're going second. You got lights and darks. So you're going to play Lina and you're going to play dark. You're going to play Spright Sprint. This can be cut, but if you're going second, I like to leave it in, because if you make your Lina or your dark, you take your opponent's monster, you got a free sprint right there already. You can send your Merly and go on with your day. Going first, I would definitely side this out and probably put in a Baguska. Last link, we have Underworld, Goddess of the Closed World. Again, just for problem monsters that you can't get off the board, this is the best answer to that if you don't have a kaiju. For your fusions, you got your Predaplant, Dragon Stapelia. That's what you're going to go into after you make your Garura or you make your Mud Dragon with your Tearlament. So your Garura is a level 6, so you can also go into Wallow with it. Wallow, if you guys don't know, monsters you control gain. So this is every monster you control gains 100 attack and defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. You can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and detach 1 or 2 materials from this card, then activate the appropriate effects. Return it to the deck. So this is kind of like an Ishizu shuffler for 1 card. But if you detach 2, if it's a monster that you target, you special summon it to your field, or if it's a spell or trap, you set it to your field. So let's say you're going first, and you Foolish Burial and a YuGiOh, and your opponent mills, I don't know, Skill Drain or something like that. You can literally use this to steal their Floodgate and set it to your field. It's hilarious. Doesn't come up often, but when it does, it's hilarious. You plan for everything. You got 1 Minerva. Mill more. And just like basically your generic rank 4. You're always going to want to make this if you can. The other ones in the side deck are kind of situational. You got your Beatrice. So your Beatrice is your best rank 6 for going first, because it's a Foolish Burial going first. It's a quick effect Foolish Burial once per turn. So you can activate it on your turn. Special it in defense, activate it, dump something, and then on your opponent's turn, you can dump another card. And then last but not least, Zeus. Obviously. You're going second. You got XYZs. You're going to build Zeus. So that's it for your extra deck. On to the side. So for branded, basically branded only, you got your 2 Ash. They're gorgeous. I know. Prismatics. You got your 2 Ghost spells for more graveyard effects. We'll be playing Dark Worlds. I feel we'll be playing Dark Worlds a lot more with the new Chaos Angel. And we'll just be playing, I think, a lot more graveyard decks. Ghost Spell also helps against Branded and a bunch of other decks too. So Ghost Spell is just a good one to have paired with Ash. We got Ghost Ogre. Now this is just if Chaos Hunter ain't it. If I'm not playing against a deck that banishes, that's an easy substitute. Just swap those out for my Ghost Ogres. You got your Danko Seka. Like I said, you don't need your normal summon in this deck. So any trap decks, it's hilarious. Like Danko Seka for the win. You got your 2 Nibs. If you notice, these last 3 are all lights as well. So they just go hand in hand with the deck to banish for your Bystials. Onto spells, you got your 2 Super Polys. This deck can make Super Poly. You can actually make your Garura with your Lightsworns with Super Poly if you had to, because your Felice and your Wolf are both light level 4 beast. So there you go. The more you know. Next up, last but not least, you got your 3 XYZs for going first. Graveyard decks, obviously, you'll side in the Dweller. Just problem decks. Going first in general, if somebody tries to stop my combo or I sense they got a nib, they're counting my summons or something like that, just go into a Baguska in defense. With the hand traps your deck already has and the interruption your deck already has, you should be able to survive and then take them out the next turn. And then your Time Thief Redoer is just a sweet, generic level 4, rank 4, that will banish itself on your opponent's turn. So you can boost up your Chaos Archfiend on your opponent's turn. This way too. So it's just a funny thing to do, going first. Alright, so that's the deck list. If you guys stay tuned, now I got a test hand to show you. Alright, so here's that quick test hand for you guys. I'll show you guys a couple. I won't go through the whole combo because you could just keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's really your preference out where you want it to end, because you can either make links, synchros, XYZs, whatever you want. So, opponent cuts the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a going second build. So, your hand going first probably doesn't look that ideal, but it actually really is. So, your instant fusion, start off your plays. Your tiers aren't supposed to go into their tier big boys. You're just using these 3 so that you can get into Mud Dragon, Garura, to either use this as a level 4 dark to make your Chaos Archfiend, or just to, if you made this a light, you had both of them on the field, light 4, dark 6, there's your Chaos Angel, and then to shuffle each one of them back into the deck, you just go into a Dragon Stapelia, and then there's your boss for the fusions, basically. Basically, it's you're just using the Tearlaments as an engine. So you do have a normal summon. Your instant fusion can get you Mud Dragon, so you got a level 4 on board. So as soon as you can foolish absolutely anything you want, just to show you guys how random it can be, we'll foolish an YuGiOh, try and get some lights in the graveyard, and try and get this rolling. So this is probably one of the worst hands that you can have, and it's still pretty good. Now, it does depend on what you mill, but because you're able to mill multiple times, eventually you'll mill everything you need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bad mill, but we got the Kelbeck, so we'll chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So we got a wolf, and we got a Havness. So we'll do, will we fuse the Havness? We can make the Dragon Stapelia right now. If we were to make this a dark, so we can make this a Dragon Stapelia. Since it's turn 1, we might as well do that. So we'll shuffle these back into the deck, and we'll bring out the wolf. Alright, so that's our grave now. Really bad mills. All we have is a wolf and a Dragon Stapelia on board. So we'll have to normal summon our Merly. Mill 3. Thankfully we hit a Solic. So we'll search. Sharon. Opponent cuts. And then you see how this just keeps going and going and going. So we already have a Dragon Stapelia. We got our Merly. We got our Wolf. We have another special summon that's going to mill us 3. We have our Soronir that's going to banish either our Druid's Worm or any other light or dark that we mill to come out onto the field. And then that and Chaos, that and Wolf is a Chaos Angel right there. So you got your Chaos Angel already. You got your Dragon Stapelia. You have a Merly. You have more plays. Let's just say we do special summon it. We special summon our Sheeran, ditching our Felice to mill 3. 1, 2, 3. We hit a Felice. We're going to special summon our Felice. And then right there, depending on what we milled of our opponent's deck, we can go into a Lina or a Dark with Merly or with Felice. You can go into, there's a light and a dark right there. So we'll go into Chaos Archfiend. You have a Chaos Archfiend already right there. Ridiculous. And also, depending on what you're playing, that's a level 10 right there. 4, 8, 10. So there's a Baron. If you guys wanted a Baron instead, you could go into that. So I don't actually have it yet, so we'll just put that face down. That's your Chaos Archfiend. Your Bystial Sorneer can banish any of your lights or darks. Special summon itself. Your Sorneer and your Wolf. There's your Chaos Angel. So turn 1 with not even a good hand. You got your Chaos Angel, Chaos Archfiend. You got a Dragon's Tapelia. You got a Merly. You can keep going if you want to. That was with bad mills. You guys seen that? That was the worst mills ever. You guys still were able to get the 2 boss monsters out of this deck and a Dragon's Tapelia just for fun. Obviously, you're not going to overextend too much. This was a turn 1. And this is a go in second build. But even if you're forced to go turn 1 without siding, any of your gorgeous side deck cards, because if you're going first, you're playing against trap decks. If you're going second, you're playing against trap decks. If you're going first, you'd probably side in your super polys to set them, interrupt your opponent's plays, and you'd have a Dweller, a Baguska, and a Redoer. You guys just watch this combo. I could have made 2, if not all 3 of these in this one turn, if that's what I wanted to do. So, if you guys like the deck list, if you guys like the combo, I'm going to send more combos out there. We're going to do a Let's Play with the deck, and we're going to actually show you guys some real games. If you guys liked all that stuff, like the video, leave a comment, tell me you guys any ideas that you guys have yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.